and your reference changes. The reason I'm bringing that up is because this is where 4 out of 6 of us sleep. And so people always ask about sleeping in space. Do you lie down? Are you in a bed? Not really, because it doesn't matter. You don't really have the sensation of lying down. You just sit in your sleeping bag. So here's one sleep station right here. I'm going in right now. You can follow me if you want. So I'm inside. It's sort of like a little phone booth, but it's pretty comfy. I've got a sleeping bag right here that we sleep in, so we don't have sort of like a little bit of a cover. We don't fly all over the place. But you know, you can sleep in any orientation. I have it sleeping, feeling like I'm standing up right now, but like you saw, I'm on the floor. But it doesn't matter if I turn over and I sleep upside down. I can't have it. I don't have any sensation in my head that tells me that I'm upside down, so it really doesn't matter. The sleep station is also like a little office. We've got a computer in here. As you can see, we've got a couple little toys. I've got some books. I've got some clothes and other things that make it sort of like home. I'm coming out. And just for reference, that's one sleep station. This one's another. Right here. There's one on the ceiling, if you want to call it. Right here. And then there's a fourth on the other wall over here. So all of us sleep in a little bit of a circle. All right, come on back. There's more to show you. I know that there's some questions about how to use the bathroom and how do you actually live in space like normal, like at home. I mentioned real quickly about getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth and washing your face. Well, how do you do that? Well, here is the bathroom essentially. You get up in the morning and we have a little kit and it has all the essential things that you need, like your toothbrush and toothpaste and brush. See how much better the brush makes my hair look? I'm just joking. It still stands up straight. It doesn't matter where you are. It's always going to stand up straight while you're up in space. A lot of people ask about toothbrush and toothpaste. So, luckily enough, toothpaste, you can do it upside right this way, is sticky, and so it sticks to your toothbrush. No problem. Another cool thing is that water sticks to your toothbrush too. If you can see it, I'll have some water come out. The water is pretty neat up in space. It'll stick to your toothbrush and it will make a big bubble, and that's just by surface tension. And then you can drink it. So a lot of people ask about what do you do with the toothpaste after you brush your teeth. Two options. Swallow it, and it's sort of like mouthwash, but it tastes a little gross. Or you can just spit it out in a paper towel, and then you don't have to worry about it. Swallowing thing I wouldn't recommend at home. I'm only up here for 4 months, so it's not that bad. One of the most pressing questions about living in space, of course, is the bathroom. So let's take a look at that little piece of work. Come on in. Here we are at the throne. This is awesome. You might see the little, you might have noticed the little moon on the outside. This is our orbital outhouse right here. And of course, it serves for 2 functions. Number 2, right here. I'll show you. But you see it's pretty small. So you have to have pretty good aim, and you be ready to make sure things get let go the right direction. And it smells a little bit, so I'm closing it up. And that's, of course, for number 2. And this guy right here is for number 1. So they're sort of 2 slightly separate functions, but you can do a little, essentially both, by hanging on right here and doing number 1 and number 2. I might add it's color coded, so you really don't get it mixed up, which is nice. This is yellows for number 1. And also, there's a selection of paper. People always ask about toilet paper. What do you do with toilet paper? What kind of toilet paper do you have? We have gloves, just because sometimes it does get messy. We have some Russian wipes, which are a little bit coarse if you like the coarse type of toilet paper. We have some nice tissues, which are nice and soft if you like soft toilet paper. We have Huggies, just for any cleanup. You know, we were all babies once, and this sort of helps. And then if things get really out of control, we have disinfectant wipes, just to make sure we clean up here. Because, you know, just like the water I showed you, the number 1 stuff can sort of go all over the place if you don't aim correctly. And did I mention both of these have a little bit of suction, so they should keep things going in the right direction. But like I said, sometimes things get a little out of control if you are out of control yourself flying around. So we have lots of protective stuff. And of course, you do have your privacy. There's a little door, so other people know that you're in there. Here's a pretty cool place. This is sort of like in your house where everybody meets in the morning. After you wash your face, brush your teeth, you want to find something for breakfast. And this is our kitchen. You might notice there's all sorts of foods here. It's like opening the refrigerator. You got all your different stuff that you want to have: drinks, meats, eggs, vegetables, cereals, bread, snacks. And that's a good place. That's where you find all the candy. Side dishes, and then some little power bars just in case. So we have all this type of food. Some of it is dehydrated, and so we have to hydrate it, fill it up with water. Some of it is already made, and then all we have to do is heat it up. So something like this, I'm pulling out barbecued beef brisket. Pretty yummy. Not only is this food made in the U.S., but we also have food here from Japan. We've got Russian food. As you can see, all these red containers are filled with food that's from Russia. And then we get some of our specialty stuff, some things that we like, some of our favorite stuff that your family can send up. In fact, I like fluffernutters, and so I got sent up some fluff so I could make my fluffernutter with peanut butter. So you have a lot of food up here, no problems.
Station, this is Houston on Space to Ground 2. Are you ready for the event?
Houston, Station on 2, we're ready for the event.
YouTube Space Lab, this is Houston. Please call Station for a voice check.
So, Station, can you read us? This is Bill Nye at YouTube headquarters in London. Do you hear us?
We got you loud and here on the International Space Station. How you doing, Bill Nye, the Science Guy?
We're fabulous. You're looking great. It's very exciting. Can you just reassure us, that you really are in the space station? You're not suspended by hidden wires in a closet someplace. Maybe your hair alone kind of gives it away.
There would be a lot of wires holding my hair up right now if that was what it takes, but I guarantee we're up in space. I don't think, I'm not a gymnast, so in normal life I don't think I could do this.
Wow, very nice, very nice.
Here I can do it. Here I can do it as a 10.
Slow motion. That was it. Very nice. Well, I really appreciate you taking time. Very nice. She stuck the landing. Very nice for taking time out of your schedule. You got a lot going on up there. I'd like to introduce you to a few people we have here back on Earth. We have the winners of the YouTube Space Lab competition. We have Dorothy and Sarah and Amr. Greetings, everybody. Greetings, greetings, greetings. Now, Sonny, you've been working on their experiments.
I'm excited to be here with you guys. I was happy to have met you guys in Washington, D.C., and congratulations. I think it's been a little bit of a whirlwind for you since that time, so I hope you're enjoying yourself, and we're enjoying your experiments up here, so thank you.
So you look very relaxed, and you set your microphone down. That's very nice. Or set your microphone up, or where is up. But what is a day like? I get the impression you guys are busy all the time.
Well, every day is different, and we are busy all the time. We have a general working day, same time as you, GMT. But we usually get up around 6 and try to go to sleep around 10. But every day is different. We're doing science experiments. We're exercising. We're out doing spacewalks. We're doing robotic stuff. We just launched HKH-TV, the Japanese module that was up here, left us yesterday. So it's one thing after another. Every day is a little bit different. It's awesome.
Now, spacewalks, launching Japanese modules, making scientific discoveries, that's routine. But you have any other stuff you have to do, like the laundry and dishes and things like that?
Well, luckily enough, most of our food is in containers, and then we throw it away, so we don't really have dishes up here. If you think about it, dishes aren't going to work up in space, so we just sort of eat our food out of different types of containers, so we don't have to do that. And there's not a lot of dirt up here, so your clothes don't get dirty for the most part.
What sort of food do you get to eat up there?
We have a wide variety of food, which is really great. You know, just in this in this little packet, I have beef fajitas, which we usually eat with tortillas because bread is a little crummy and then it makes a mess and gets in your hair and stuff. A lot of freeze-dried stuff, or dehydrated stuff, I should say. And we have a hydrator right above me. This is cauliflower and also spinach in here because my mom's probably watching and wants to know I'm eating my vegetables. And then, of course, there's things in a can. And, of course, we have candy and other things like that, which are, you know, everybody likes to eat on Earth.
It does look like, it does look delicious. But how about the experiments? Can you show us the experiments? Oh.
Certainly. I think you're thinking about experiments that these guys sent up, right? Am's experiments and Dorothy and Sarah's experiments. Yeah. And they're right here with me. So I have them here in space. This is a gap. This is Dorothy and Sarah's. And it shows a little bit change of color from when you remember it launched. It was before a little bit more red, and then we combined them in the gap experiment. And so now, obviously, with the dye, they've changed, which means there's definitely some indication of some growth. But we'll have to see how that goes when they get returned to Earth on SpaceX coming up at the end of October.
So this is where there's a dye that changes with the acidity, and so as the bacteria metabolize, whoa! As they metabolize, it changes color. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you guys
and
have
the
a
other
question for her
experiment,
right now?
which I think.
Oh, sorry.
The other experiment, which I think you guys want to take a look at, if we can get the camera to focus, is, of course, our little Nefertiti here. Let's see if she can get in focus. Hold on. Can you see her?
She's she's in focus, yeah. I see a lot of dead
She's a little scary. I think she's been eating well.
So, do you have a question about your spider here?
Yeah, I'll shoot a question. So I see there are a lot of dead flies hanging around in the silk threads. Did you get to see her actually do the jump?
Oh yeah, she was in the CGVA. I'm sorry, the in her habitat there, and then also in the locker where the payload folks were able to see. Amazing. And so I think the spiders absolutely adapted to space. It was incredible to watch.
Wow, I'm watching you. You're very impressed. That's very cool. So the spiders able to adapt just as you predicted on. So Sarah, Dorothy, do you have a question for Sunny?
Yeah. Hi, Sunny. Hi. So we're wondering, can you see any differences in how yellow each test tube is to show the levels perhaps that our bacteria has grown depending on the medium it's in?
I'm sorry, can you repeat your question one more time?
Oh, are there different levels of yellow? Can you see the different color changes, or are they all the same color?
No, they're all different. Actually, this one I just randomly picked number 5. But they all have a slightly different color. This one is really nice and orange, but some are a lighter color and some are a darker color of red. So yeah, they all have a little bit different. So I didn't get I was wondering about all the data points that you guys picked, because I was wondering why they were all the different colors. And I noticed it pretty much the first time I took them out and looked at them when I was taking the pictures, that they were definitely different ones, had different colors. So you're going to see some interesting results when you get these back. And right now we're keeping them at 4 degrees in this chamber, so it should maintain its, where it is until it gets back on the Earth for you.
That sounds great.
So that's what you guys predicted, yeah?
Yeah.
That's not bad, people.
Yeah.
Look at you. Both experiments came out pretty much the way you predicted. And Sunny, you are an extraordinary part of this, and we very much appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So it's not just that these guys here have been hoping to ask you questions, and thank you for answering, but we have some questions from their classmates in Michigan in the United States. Here we go.
Hey, Dorothy and Sarah, and everyone in the studio. We're back here in Troy, Michigan, and we also have a question for Sunny the astronaut. Obviously, the Olympics were this summer, but we were wondering how international relations changed after we found out who got the gold medal.
Very interesting question. We actually, we have a little bit delayed TV up here. If we get streaming video, it's called KU. And so during the Olympics, we would get KU and get all of the highlights of the Olympics at dinner time, which was great. As a group, we would gather around the table and watch the Olympics. And I thought it was more of a bonding experience between all of us as we were cheering for each other's teams. Like when Japan would win and when Russia would win, we'd all be psyched for each other. And I think that's really good for international relations. It was not, anything bad. It was more like we were supporting each other, and got to know each other's athletes through the knowledge of the other crewmate on board. So it was really fun.
That's very good news. Very good news, because our next question comes from an Olympic gold medalist, the guy who, competing with spiders, was the long jumper who won, Greg Rutherford. Greg.
Hi, Sunny. Greg Rutherford here. Just want to ask you a quick question. If our spider was my size, she could outjump me on Earth, but could she outjump me in space?
Well, I think just by mass, I think you could probably outjump the spider.
Yeah, good. That's good. It's good to know. Our next question comes from the flight director of the Mars Curiosity rover mission, Babak Ferdowsi, the Mohawk Man. Babak.
Here at the Jet Propulsion Lab, we work on robotic missions. What we'd like to know is, how could we further improve robotic missions to help human exploration?
That's, a really great question, because some people sometimes think that robotics and human spaceflight are a little bit, back and forth. There's some type of competition there. But I think robotics are awesome because they'll take the first step where we haven't had the technology developed quite yet for humans to go. And then the second thing they can do, once humans get there, they can take on repetitive tasks and do repetitive tasks such that the humans can take then the next step in exploration. So I think robotics and humans can step by step and leapfrog each other so we get further and further and understand more about our universe. So I think robotics and human spaceflight together are an awesome combination.
That's fantastic. As the CEO of the Planetary Society, this is something we advocate. I'm delighted you feel that way, Sonny. It's great. Let's change the world. So, this is good, but we've got tons of questions from our live stream viewers from all over the world. So we're going to start with Pekka Ulala. What is the most beautiful thing you've seen in space? What is the biggest insight you've had, Sonny?
Well, I tell you what really is humbling is when you look out the window and you see something like the aurora borealis, or the lights in the southern hemisphere. Also, it's just amazing because it really puts us in our place. That we're, the energy around us and in the universe is overwhelming and more than we can even imagine with our minds. And there's more and more for us to discover out there. And then, of course, looking at our planet, it's just pretty. I mean, it's blue, it's green, it's purple. The clouds are forming, the ice is forming. It is just spectacular. And I've said it a number of times. I wish everybody would be able to take a lap around the planet, and then they'd have a much better appreciation for it and the people who live there. And it's just so peaceful and pretty.
Oh, that's great. You are our ambassador. You are our woman in space. Thank you. We have another question. This one from Caden Kuchera. Does it ever bother you to be in such a small area, in such a confined space up there?
Oh gosh, no. This place is great, and I was here when it was a little bit small, and we only had 3 people, and now we have 6. But we have, over 10 modules, and, it goes different directions from the front of the spacecraft all the way back to the, the Russian segment back there. It's like a 5-story house. There's windows to look out of. Everything in space is more fun. Cleaning is fun. So you don't get tired of being inside because there's always a lot of things to do. And every now and then you get to go outside, too. So that's a lot of fun as well. So, no, I never get tired of being inside here. It's great.
That's cool. We have another question from Brianna Page Henderson. About how long is your training? How long did you work to get ready for this? And what are some of the things you had to do to prepare?
That's a great question. I think people don't realize that the space station, like I said, is big, and there are a lot of things. We don't have electricians and plumbers and computer, IT folks up here. We do it all ourselves. And so the training is about 2.5 years, and it consists of learning about the U.S. segment modules, the Japanese, the European, the Russian. So that means a lot of travel around the world. Learning the Russian language also, because we fly up in a Russian Soyuz vehicle. We learn about how that spacecraft works. And so the training is pretty extensive on skills-based, so we can be able to do all that plumbing, electrical stuff, water stuff, science stuff. So it's a lot of skills-based, but it's about 2.5 years, and it's a lot of fun. That's when you get to know your crew, because we all train together.
Now, speaking of getting to know your crew, I think none of us could miss. Somebody went flying over your right shoulder. Who was that?
So that was Aki. Of course, he represents the Japanese Space Agency here. Him and myself and Yuri Malenchenko from the Russian Space Agency flew up on a Soyuz. But also, who's up here on a different soyuz getting ready to go home on Sunday is Joe Akaba, another American, and then 2 Russians, Gennady Padalka, Sergei Revin. So we've got a sorted a sundry of people, and in another month or so, another soyuz will come up with another American and 2 Russians. So it's pretty busy up here with spacecraft coming and going and people flying in, flying out. This is a laboratory. We're working here, so you're going to see people moving around.
But they move around in extraordinary ways. I mean, they're all flying. It's pretty cool. So we have another question from our social media. This is from Douglas Martin. What does Sirius look like when you're up there, when you're closer to the star? Sirius is a star. Or what does any other star look like, really?
So it's an interesting question, and we're only about 250 miles, 400 kilometers above the Earth. So when you're thinking relatively, that's not very far from the surface of the Earth. When you're thinking about how far other planets are and stars are, so size is about the same as you would see from Earth. However, without any atmosphere, the universe is crystal clear. You can really see the 3D of the darkness that's going out there. I mean, it doesn't look like a black sheet. It's like it just goes on and on. Likewise, stars are crystal clear and they're bright. And so you see definitely different sizes, just like you do on Earth, of stars, that some are smaller and some are bigger. But they are just crystal clear, and at night it's like millions and millions of stars. It's in some place you've been where there's no light pollution and it's just a crystal clear day. It's beautiful.
That's cool. So you guys, do you have any other questions? You got it right here, right there.
I have a question. How many sunrises do you see in a day, in a 24-hour?
So in 24 hours, we go around the Earth 16 times, so you'll see 16 sunrises and sunsets. Here in the laboratory, we've got a window below us, but it's taking some really nice pictures, and so we have it covered up with a black cover, so the pictures will come out real well. The cupola is around the corner, and sometimes it's right where the gym is, and so when you're lifting and working out, you can see the sunrise and sunset right above you. But I tell you, when we're on a spacewalk, you can really tell the difference. The heating and cooling from the time when the sun is up and when the time that it's dark is unbelievable. Before the sun even shines on you, you can feel the heat start to generate around your body. So it's impressive, the vacuum of space, how much heating and cooling goes on out there and how much sun changes things.
That's fantastic. And I remind you, it's not magic. It's science. That's pretty cool, Sonny. Thank you so much. I'm afraid we're about to lose you. Our satellites are going to lose touch with you. But do you have any final words for the winners, for Dorothy, Sarah, and Amr? Thank you so much.
Well, of course, congratulations to you guys. Your experiments were awesome up here. I know that there were thousands of other wonderful participants in this contest, or this, I think, more of a gathering of scientific minds of our future. So thanks to everybody who participated. You guys all made the contest awesome. We're just honored to have been part of it. So thank you.
Thank you, Sonny. That's just great. Thank you so much. Well, let's get back to work. Oh, wow, that was just wonderful, wasn't it? She's flying in space, you guys. Come on. Thanks, Mission Control. Thank you very much. We'll let you get back to work as well. I mean, how cool was that?
Station, this is Houston ACR. Thank you. That concludes the event.
Yeah.
Okay. Return
Yes, TCS no return.
is what I had coming on return here.
So now we're going to determine if the board income is the leak source. So on that IHTCS overview or the PPA, it's steady. Houston Station copies, thank you. And we concur with work blocks 19, 20, 21, 22, and we
Okay. Okay.
bubble. Here may already be ITCS lines connected. 92, we're in block 26. We've got the jumpers connected for block 25, and we're watching here. Proceeding to block 32. Start in deck 5. My temp coolant water return.
Return.
Disconnect from the outlet.
Setup is in the gym because that's where your PO bed is scheduled at, and your accessories for that are on the bag right next to it.
Real time, only one of them would be off, but because of building 9 limitation, safing requires all of them to be off. So
Coming right after you to do that, so you can leave it out and we'll take care of putting the stuff back.
okay. Who's next? Ethan and Jordan.
All right.
All right.
You're having a little trouble with maybe because the wire on the back is
Now,
and all the way out.
this.
Once you get it,
really thought it would be there, but the last time it was used was in the starboard cone of Columbus.
Okay.
You might find it there if it wasn't put around.
DPC. So the safing in 1.1 is in place, and then you said that we were going to replace the Node 2 overhead starter 4 light.
Oh, I know. We have APFRs are probably already down.
Yeah, APFRs are down. They should be in place already.
And my assumption is you put it on, you push, and then crank.
Yeah,
Just-
well, the pitch knob has to be depressed to turn it.
Right, so
Yeah.
you've got to...
I was able to do it just putting my finger like this.
With the rest of You're on camera too.
And so even with the gloves, there's more steps. So you'll put on the liner. Pick up my comforter the wrong way. Yeah, that happened to me this morning. That's it.
We'll take care of this now. 1, 2, 3.
All right, dumb loops are on. Watch watch those elbow pads. She's got them. And we're going to be careful with that right arm over there, okay? Because it's a little tender.
Can you lift this up?
Oh, sorry, yeah. You got the drink bag? Yep. And she is easy. Easy. Have that.
That is good. TD, good morning. How are you? Good. Works for me.
Okay, good.
As long as you can get the pants buttoned, I'm happy.
Good. Okay, what's next? I don't even know. I'm kidding. TD EV2 is ready to remove jumper leaf.
The hospital, my O2 set was 87.
Another one undone?
And so you pull on that sleeve right there.
So I'm going to shrug away from
There
Karen
you
and
go.
then...
Here's what she's going to do hers.
All right, give me a shoulder shrug. Thank you. You have one more somewhere?
I don't think so. Just this.
Yeah, I think it's just that.
Oh, that the other one is for my chin.
Yeah.
That's a chin. What's this?
Pull your arm in.
Got it? Am I far enough? Just far back as I can go.
I'll get a little extra caffeine that way.
That's funny. That's good.
Take what I can get.
We're going to tighten that up. Phone call for emergency.
So now we're ready to go. Too full, 160 degrees. One more? Yep, that's good. Just like that.
Perfect. Like that? This cable, where?
Goes behind. It looks so delicate. They're nice.
There you go. Okay? Okay.
So make sure that the wrist ring is engaged. Right now it's smooth, so you'll have to move this ring over one.
I've tried.
Yep.
Have a good run. GD, EV2, coming on there.
I couldn't get the roll. Or the gimbal anyway.
The glove heater can be on, and it's not powered here. So, Alex, you can also ask about the cup checklist if he likes the police school.
A little bit of
It would already be installed, it would already use it, it would already be single connection. And so it will have you go and check the locks and the boots, because you need to go blend. And there's our place, it's placed in the correct. These will have already been checked. You won't need to crank it anymore. And we take it from the back, so first load on the back and then roll forward. Watch the ear cups, and you can push the ear cups in. Ryan.
TD suit engineer, EV2. That's 3 bar off. Coming in.
Tray section. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Start try to make it fit, but if it doesn't, you
like
could
my
call
freezer
down and yeah, call down and ask for an alternate location. See if it's in.
It's just slipping off. You see that?
Yeah, you gotta
just give it a little jiggle.
That looks good.
Okay.
Going to be doing a lot of multi operations. You'll want to wear long sleeves, or you could don this
nice.
sleeve. Alright. That's anything you would use out of the ASE pouch. That it will go into an MSG or LSG. This is the, that looks like the LSG. Very similar to the glove box freezer, except it's inside of a locker. And the opening is larger, so it could use these. I'm not aware of extra small, but I'll check. So they feel a little bit loose on you.
Yeah, they're quite big on me.
Okay.
I have tiny hands.
Oh, and but they probably labeled it differently.
Okay.
So that would be a good time that you would want to call down just to verify.
Okay.
I did see. Go through it. If you have any questions, you can let the ground know if anything doesn't look right. So make sure.
1 Bravo, 1 2. Okay. Ready?
Back half of their stay, Crew 1B joins them on ISS, and the scenario that we've gotten into. But, you know, if the flight schedule is blue boxed, it's not, it's not going to move. We require to have comm coverage. among the crew members. But we actually wait an hour before we debrief with the ground. Later, again, it is a simulator that we use in vehicle EMER-FAM. This is specific to this simulation activity, typically over in the Russian segment when you're in when they're in the Soyuz or whatnot. So we're using the wireless access points across ISS and the ground. The ground has InSight, as mentioned, but they've also got their own ground-specific displays. The power folks have something similar. ADCO for trajectory and all that. They've got.
You don't have to do this fancy maneuver.
Exactly. You don't have to face the bladder anymore.
Okay.
So really how it works is you go ahead and install.
What a time to do it. This is great.
Figured you guys would enjoy this.
So will this be on orbit part of the time?
Just the idea never really.
Yeah, now that's interesting. You can't do.
No, that's absolutely fair.
I think the manual lock is the only one that it really can latch onto when you're undoing. Be good for Friday.
Awesome. It's great that they have it already.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Do we know approximately when?
Gotcha. So we will see how it all plays out. Hopefully they get everything done, everything goes great this June.
Hold on, let me get your
Get me some goggles on while I look the Xenon degree. That would be perfect. But like bumping into it like this is going to be not getting work.
No, it's like 40 pounds of force was the
And that's
lowest.
perpendicular this way?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like images of it?
Ooh, use that as a fiducial point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did this get torn because of micrometeorites?
It was basically, so they were taking observations in a day pass, everything was fine, went to night. When the sun came back up, they were just flooded.
I think one of these will have to go under the other flap. Is that true? Otherwise,
I'll have to take a look at how we did it. Yeah.
Yeah,
you're not
that's
gonna
a
have
good-
overlap. Yeah, we'll look in Building 9 and see what that one's like, because I don't remember this being a problem before. And you'll get to see the real interface in Building 9, and how the tolerances are.
Can you bring it down?
We got that in. We got the PGT for you. Go ahead and get 2 turns on each of those bolts. And we can rotate this down. Like alpha 2, clock 2. Lauren, can you look for me?
And if there's, I guess.
Side loads.
Okay,
and then once you start though, good.
Okay, focus on center
And then you're just going to temp set them by a window.
Okay.
Okay, so now we are going to take these and so you don't want to shoot inconsistently, sort of changing your orientation. Edges in your frame because your aperture is open. And so what you have an aperture that's a little smaller.
The procedure tells me about the F1.
Yes, it does, yeah. And then the other thing is if you are doing a lot, and then you gotta press that F1 button there.
Yeah, okay.
So you can really, that's sort of,
Yeah, okay.
Dragon has way worse because it's not even a matter of what Dragon is they're so bad.
Yeah. And so I'm just focusing further up at the top, moving the lens down, maintaining the half press on the button on the shutter release.
And
It's good for Earth Obs too. That's a great Earth Obs thing. If like it's close but I'm having a hard time with it, hold it down and then you can tweak it just a little bit.
Oh, man.
And then at soft stop and take your picture. Downside, in reality, if the camera can autofocus, it usually does a better job than you.
Okay,
I ended up with something Quasi okay.
Yeah, so what were the settings on, so.
Is it better? I don't know if it's any better. I was pretty close. But you can definitely see
I think, you get the.
Shutter speed, aperture, and what's the third one?
ISO.
And ISO. So we've got the balancing act. And the procedure.
So we got our focus. We've got our mode.
Okay, and now I'm going to tell you guys, all right, we're going to take some pictures.
All right.
Where your shutter speed's high enough to stop the motion. All right. How are your pictures all the way through? Are they? And it looks natural. It looks like it is without the flash.
But my ISO is. So.
And then for these pictures, what we want to do is we want to see any dust on it, which means we want a really small aperture. So we're going to need to set our aperture priority mode so that we can control the aperture. Clean white area and take an out of focus picture of it. So we've got a good wall over here. Or that one, either way.
We do not have the right tools to clean that the right way. We would need a wet type of cleaner that we are not allowed to find.
The other thing I just want to add is, if you've done this and you took those images, you might think you don't need to downlink them because.
Second eye on those. If I'm wrong, you'll find out really quick. Yep.
Close enough.
They might be older than me, but I know they're older than you.
I feel like we're going to hit each other at some point.
Okay, so for binoculars.
By the time we want you configuring the tool time you're actually putting tools on the mini workstation completely with bags and stuff.
You'll end up using all that time for something related. But what we could also do is in the, okay, how many are left, right? Tell us how many are left. And that loves having that number. We also, right here. And then isolate the rest, right? So that's really the key. After you inspect it, you want to isolate it from the rest of the tether staging area, right? Yeah, they all mean the same thing.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So first, we're going to look at the serial number location, figure 1. And on these, they do have this like sticker that's like printed. Yeah, it could be go, but we just want to isolate it for now.
Okay.
Yeah. And so what they've also done is put a little daub of RTV silicone, which you can see here, this clear stuff. Okay.
But I understand the use.
Yeah, push was a huge thing with that.
Yeah. Remember, because that ink has been known to rub off, so we don't want to put tape on there, right? Going. Stephanie's got a good technique going. We just want to make sure that you get a peek in between all the little folds and creases on your LES. And this part we can actually have next.
You'll be hot mic'd, so anytime you talk.
Okay.
So Stephanie will give you one of these over here. And this is so that we can hear them when they're in the suits. So if you have any questions. Yeah, we can head. The next part is going to be LTA donning, so how you guys want to do it?
Maybe let's do that serially.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It might be easier if...
So we'll start with your stuff. Okay. Hold it. Okay. Okay. So you're going to hold at the ring. I got it down here.
You can go ahead and shift it.
Okay. Okay, you good with the boot butter? Ready for boot butter?
Yep, we're ready for
okay.
Okay, that's your spot.
Once we get down to 10.2, then we so we'll pick up there afterwards. So let's go ahead to donning the EMU.
Yes. Yeah, you are going to have to reach up there out to grab that. Just okay. Lift up on it.
It's further. It's like a dump. Piece of dump. Sorry, with the headband.
There's nothing connected. There's nothing.
You guys can connect the LTA to the head once you know.
All right, so we're ready for EV2.
Oh, yeah.
LTA to the HUD. Push down and then rotate. That's good.
Pretty sore. I'm waiting for Stephanie to get Stephanie sailing is off.
It's good. Okay. 56.
Now we got zero. Houston Station on 2 for passenger 2 SLG.
Oh.
Sounds like I'm sure more call.
Yeah, I'm just gonna check stats.
Nothing obvious. Still just worth checking in with them. The only obvious thing we see is matches what.
Ground team's recommending that you do the systematic sampling in node 3.
So I have
What
the table.
direction? Oh, this is
Systematic sampling in node 3. We started that in work.
So they can do that as well. Back you up.
Node 3 Dex.
So we got enough CPE.
Yeah, you need another CSA.
Yeah.
Close to the edge.
Okay. Okay, flip your toggle, your switch. Okay, so officially started.
Okay. Ready?
Okay, we will call you back.
Okay.
Multiple lights within any of the modules on? No, we're at block 14. Until to
That's a good sign.
we've got a green box.
With using Russian assets. So there's no VHS, Shaw SS.
Okay. Card in there. To do that, we do step 1 only of CDH 4.208 CCS restart. I can't remember.
There's some checks, like if anything's already happening,
Okay.
and that's why we have you check ELOC first.
Okay.
Right?
Subscribe for more space.
but we didn't record it though, so we
No,
had
that's
to,
right.
we have to
I
do it
was
again.
gonna make sure we had done that. Once we hit ghost, we will let it stop. So we're going. So we'll be going about 9 spots per cent. There's 10. See climbing. Hero come up. Your door flaps come back up, and then you'll be stuck again. So that plus 10 knots on CETOs gives you that margin. So don't raise your gear until 6 plus 10. Otherwise, so then you know you have certain speeds there for the cage lots of the gym. There's still 5, 6 feet right there. I want you to note that this airplane has done 11,110.00 landings. Who logs landings to the 100?
Breakers are in. We are in both. Pins in. They say set reasonable goals, reasonable and achievable goals.
Yeah, that's reasonable. And that is achievable.
Yes, for the broom, not for the for broom. We're gonna go. Right. Yes. This is going.
Yep. We've got we're starting right there on the end of P1.
What's the tether configuration? Is it standard like two tether pack, drop the handrail on the P1?
So
or drop the green hook on the P1?
No green hooks, actually.
Translation. We're tether routing too much. Do you want to talk about why?
I don't.
So you've got EV1 straight shot out to the end of P1. And EV2 is going to be mission path to this point. I think their concern was trying, even in, especially in a rescue, trying to thread the path between the radiator and the ATA and then overs, but I would think you would have the path.
You would have the path.
You would have the, my guess is you would have the length. I'd have to do it in Doug. I don't know whether they've looked at, they either brought it down refurbed or they trashed it, I'm not sure.
Right. Okay, and sand check, what's the easy way from the outside to figure out which one is the free end versus the fixed end? Obviously one's longer. I can look inside here, and I still don't know here. Do I care if there's a little bit of strap floating in the breeze there?
I would still fold it so it's out of your way and it doesn't get caught in anything. For that.
Rat to this, and then do they go with 4 latches? Or do you have to BRT rat to not correct? This doesn't work here. It's not the right distance.
Good to know.
This is the PVC translation model, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can go for it and try and translate this one, but if you prefer, this one, that's what help you out.
No.
And then on J1 here, you also need the attaching. Yeah.
Am I required to use a tool?
You're not required, but you can. Use
Well, right now, I'm still thinking end to end. So when I've got the spare, I'm going to pull that cover off, and I have to put this on the spare.
Yep.
I do. So yeah. So these guys, the dual latches from the spare, and then I'll also have to release some of the 8 bolts.
Yep.
Okay.
And one thing to point out here, if you look at, you've got H6 and you've got H6.
Oh, look at that.
When it's actually in the truss.
Okay.
You should be able to see that.
Any other questions on that?
Just a sand check question. So when I blasted through the procedures real quick, the way I leave this before I take the dive into the truss and get the APFR, I think I saw the procedure told me to loosen this, which means that the only thing that holds this in place is the rep that I know of. Is that correct?
Yep.
And that's how I leave it for Mojo.
Yes, yeah, we can do it that way. I've also seen it done where ICR scenario.
In an unfortunate, worry about it. It is in your rotational envelope, but you have VGA or room out already, so it's not going to rotate.
All right. We'll be lighter on gas. Stennis is good, and they can take us.
You brought up metabolic. I was going to be my next question for you. So you beat me to where I was going, but I didn't think about the heat transfer.
I bet it was hot there.
It was way hotter in here. This is like
here.
cool.
It is. Get out of here.
It is. It really is. See you guys.
We'll look at the documents when we get to Huntsville.
Stennis.
HSA, HSV.
Morning meaning MOUR, not MOR. So not to their diurnal habits or their.
Whoa.
So
Ellington's 3.7, or was 3.7 degrees.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yep. Okay. Thanks so much. Way to go.
Our second one is at 8:49, and our final one is
Lands, I like it.
Yeah, we can mess it up. That's the plan from which we plan to deviate. There's always a change, the change, the change. But you'll notice I'm wearing my dark visor and not my clear visor. That's right. And that's how you make it dark.
If I do something like that, I found that usually doing one approach at Acadiana, and then when you go over to Chenault, you'll probably get two.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
So
Perfect. Okay.
You know.
Yeah. We're going east.
Or if we're on a big VFR day, let's just continue flight under VFR and land. In other words, we pick up a VFR hemispheric altitude.
Mhm.
We come up initial at a runway. We wag our wings. When we pitch out to land, we look for a green light from tower. Oh, there's a green light. We're landing.
Every time I fly, I gotta do that.
Jeanette, I signed it off, so good jet. It had a flap over speed, so they complied with the inspections and all that kind of stuff. But otherwise, good jet.
All right. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, sir. He's being so professional.
get some weight relief.
Just that now if you'd like.
Yeah, if you don't mind putting the load alleviating, I feel like I'm holding most of the seat weight myself.
WROTD.
The seat weight myself.
WROTD, can you take us up to 75?
Can work.
There we are. Okay, locked on the left. How's it feel?
Yeah, great.
All right. Okay.
Oh, actually, he's still in today. That's unusual.
Per the steps, what
Do you need your palm bars tightened at all?
I can do that later with the pressure.
Okay. Check that the glove heater.
connected on the left. Okay, going to 3.
Oh, yeah.
Good 3.
Okay, helmet coming on.
Left ear cup. There we go.
Hold on.
Okay.
We can start the timer.
All
And
right.
2, 1, start. Roger. Yeah, just one of those things we want to kind of get. Rev it on. Yep. Heavy.
Right up.
Right.
They don't work in here. That one does.
The left one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Joe, if you want me to take that adjustable off your wrist, I can do that.
Just a moment. O2 to press.
Happy. And just right.
Now we're going to slide over to... Here, let's take that thing off, if you don't mind. Okay. Going over to Ivy.
All right. CM purge valve, open and lock. Verify that the suit pressure is decreasing.
Copy. CCM purge valve, coming open. It's decreasing.
Okay, copy. All right.
Should it be going down to 2.5?
No. And hold yes for 2 seconds to lock the perimeter.
Lock.
Okay. And during this purge, you would monitor to make sure that O2P is above 725.
Go to Ivy.
The EMU cooler. So I think an anti-fog is a really good idea.
We should talk later about our discussion about, we had a long discussion yesterday about warm restart options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a good conversation.
With this team, I take it.
Yeah.
Feedback chart. But it's still, the dust is still settling on that one.
Sure.
So.
Yep.
Can I leave the setting of 4?
You can leave the setting of 4.
That are going to really play on the interplay that you guys have to do and discuss things and make decisions about who's going to do what. And I will be the other side by the rails if those come. I'll be as helpful as I can. And also, it's a balance of getting training checked.
Ready?
Okay, well done. So it sounds like you guys know each other very well, so I'll skip the introductions to you all. So today, as you're already aware, or Russian note, which is new, for our mock-ups, we don't have it here, so we'll be on the MRN2 platform, and on the screen in front of you, that is the Russian note. Okay, and then through 8, you all will be adopted moving forward in our mock-ups for today. As utilization, because it varies on how we utilize the masks. So, as far as PBA usage, if your scenario requires you to don an emergency mask, you can do this in your scenarios, and I especially encourage Tracy to do the don and purge during an pneumonia. We won't actually have to mask. Whatever. If you want the solidarity.
We're timing for drop. We want to figure out T-Red. Are you doing T-Red?
Yes, I have it going now. Start at 7:38 and the timer's going right now. Okay. And now it's 7:34.
Okay.
And it's 43 seconds.
The timer dropped 1 millimeter.
Well, I know. So, okay, so we're going to take that time and divide it by 4. Or now
I
it's...
can do HCI for you.
4?
Yeah. So that's like 9 seconds. Yeah. 9, about.
9
Yeah.
millimeters a minute.
No, per millimeter.
Just
Okay.
let's see.
than 10 minutes.
Yep.
Houston station on 2.
Alright, I've grabbed the
HDI
HDI.
deflects towards node 2.
Did anybody see or hear anything?
Houston copies HDI deflects towards node 2.
Doing well in node 2, working leak procedure. We're on page 109, that's 1.36 procedure. We're showing about a 48-minute T-res.
We'll get a better number, but we're getting, we concur with your 48 minutes.
Okay.
Standing by for leak check results from the Soyuz crew.
Copy. And we are checking Columbus and Gem. Let me get a better T1.
And we'll wait for it to see what our...
Okay, Soyuz for true.
There we go.
We got 65-minute T-res, and we're working on our dock support checks now.
Okay.
attach, the vector is pointing into the
Our
lab.
Soyuz and MLM Russian node are not leaking. I think the rapid defrest, but doesn't actually mean
That doesn't mean it's resolved yet. Okay.
The EPA sensors that you're talking about resolving don't feed into
They don't feed this. Okay.
Point 7, crew
7, we're joining in.
compliments, all crew compliments, watching T-res. Crew coordination.
Let's see here.
Okay, we don't have any private guys. We're going to work the center line hatches. If it deflects towards node 1, leak is aft of node 1, so we go to 162. So we can probably report that if that was definitive. All right,
I agree, we go to step 23.
step 23.
At 660, looking at this line here, so it's like, it's below 40 now.
Okay, so it's about 30,
30, 35-ish, 30, some odd minutes.
Okay. So what was the...
I agree. Equipment retrieval would work now. And what do we got?
Towards me!
All right.
Also noted towards the equipment lock.
All right, leak is in node 1 equipment locker PMA, so we continue. I see us at step 28 if you agree, DC. All
Towards
right.
me.
Towards you for sure?
Towards us.
All right.
Okay, I see it.
It's pretty clear.
Leak is
Towards
in
node 1, leak is in node 1. Continue.
Okay.
All right.
Towards me.
Towards you? Okay.
Towards us. Not
Leak is
Tracy.
in node 1. All right, I see it's at step 31, node 1 isolation. So let's do it. I say we're done with equipment retrieval. We've done what we're going to do.
Here's our actual T-res time.
Our pressure is 605, and it's dropping at, so it's 605, and we're still dropping at 9 seconds. We're actually at about 20 minutes, we're not at...
20 minutes of T-res. That's the number we need to make our decisions on.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. All right, Houston Station, did you copy last? Still stable at 601.
Houston copies, and we concur.
And Soyuz copies the Dragon.
Is it cabin fire? And we gotta put on a PBA because,
It's over there.
okay?
Hit the button.
Okay, yeah.
I was looking to see what was on. Hit the button. Fire. Close but not latch. Oh yeah, that's what kicked us off.
Any visible smoke in node 2?
Well,
I don't
check
see
and see
any.
if we need to mask up.
So far all the smoke is in there.
All right, and we have Dragon crew accounted for in node 2. Node 2 starboard hatch closed but not latched. We do not see visible smoke pending CSACP readings.
2.1 of the AIMER book.
That is correct, and we're moving on to step 7. All right, fire continues, USOS, fire source location.
Yeah.
Okay, we copy, we see the smoke detector script, and you have...
I don't see the A word.
There are no clear indications of a fire source. Copy.
Okay, we copy, and we are working through step 2 and just verifying we still have a good safe haven in node 2. I'm sorry, what was the generator?
Okay.
Because,
Right,
so
yeah, we have to
everything,
put
I
that
agree.
somewhere,
We're
generally
in red land.
aim it towards where we feel like the smoke.
Okay.
Oh, so they're forcing.
Don't put too much into that.
Roger.
So this looks like
We seem to see a little bit more smoke propagation around forward 3, but are told not to put too much
It's up
credence in that.
It's actually deck 3 area smoke.
And correction, that's deck 3 area.
Pointed source, defer to you.
I would recommend starting near deck 3, but then we can go to the other method.
Okay. All right, so they've got
Copy all
oxygen
for
steps.
the service module.
Okay, so in the Fireport app,
This looks like you guys were.
Well, I was looking.
yeah, we didn't see any fails.
Yeah.
So,
So to review, we're gonna go in. You're gonna watch in here.
We're
Just
still 49
dragon.
on the
Yep.
We need to. We would
Absolutely.
regress over that side.
and we're gonna keep these going.
Copy of the third one.
And then mask up.
Mask
We're
up.
gonna sample in the cabin and then sample for sample in the cabin. 30 seconds in between.
Right. This
Ice concentration.
Willie Sutton, right? That's the guy that. Yeah. And milliliters there. Let's see.
Relax an iPod.
Yeah.
Or just a mess.
Okay, let's jam that in the door. All right, this is our 1G. 3332, Columbus Ambient. And that's at 10:39. Yeah. Pay no attention to that.
That got cut off.
Okay. Hey guys, I think you guys can come out now. We've found the Fireport and we're gonna unpower in there. It's gonna turn out the lights.
There's a few things to power off from the PTC. But
Okay. It'll be good to have these guys out of there for now. Alright, closed but not latched. Okay, let's check our CSACP. You guys can pull off your mask for a little while.
Final background was 144.
Copy that. Alright, we are still safe haven. This is from the module, right?
Yeah, that's the cabin reading.
Okay.
Thank you.
Service module team copies. Oh, I dropped stuff back here on the airport power down.
Let's see the cabin reader. Cabin reader. Okay. Hey, Mike. Our cabin reader. Initial reading 313. Okay. Yeah. So Mike.
Yeah.
The port reading, the Fireport is 313. Is it 8.5 that?
Just 313.
Okay. 320. Okay.
Copy 320. I think you've done enough then.
Okay, we need to put our PVAs on. We need to get the 5 minutes. I've seen enough.
Go, go! Let's blow it.
Deck 2, Bravo 2.
Deck 2, Bravo 2.
Do not touch the bottom, it gets very cold.
I'm bracing him so he doesn't.
Good call. 48 seconds or so? 45, 48?
Is it empty yet?
Okay, so we're looking for John Paul's smoke.
Yeah, exactly.
The smoke of John Paul.
The smoke of John Paul. And it's partly dark. We can shine a laser pointer in there and light up the smoke. If only we had a green one.
Did you get disapproved again?
No, we got them. We got 2 of them.
Houston copies nailed it. We believe then that the module power down is not required. We did manage to get a video from Columbus routed to the ground so we can help keep an eye on things, but we'll just check in over the next hour or so and just confirm that the fire is happening.
Pass it in 3 for a little bit, and then go to the toilet strainer. Pardon me for laughing.
Oh, you want to go to note 3 instead?
Note 3, yes. Be careful.
Hardcore.
There's so much room in here. It's unbelievable. Doesn't look like it. It's more like
4 crews for 12 days. We've got about 10 crew hours of work to get the dose pump, the
connectivity monitor installed. You still have to put in a new questionnaires. Be honest, we want good feedback. And those are timeline. I mean, you're gonna get y'all are gonna be a great crew to work with, and I know y'all are gonna have a good time together. And
Lots of emails and pictures. We're coming your way.
can't wait.
Alright guys, let's
Go
go over
to
the
Beam. Thanks for your time.
Yep, thank you. Good to see you.
Looking forward to
Me
your
too.
photo.
Good to see you.
Thanks, Bruce. You're awesome. Yeah, just hanging out with y'all. I know.
An inflatable module docked to the Note 3 aft hatch. It was flown aboard SpaceX 8 in April 2015. Additionally, powered equipment can only be left unattended for 15 minutes.
You're there for quite a while, so you might.
And like, do we take grab samples in there every once in a while?
No, it's not anymore. The INV is continuously circulating. That's basically, we don't have any shell heaters, so that's what provides the condensation control, temperature control.
So the long-term plan is to keep Beam.
We're going to keep it, I think, as long as it holds air. It's right now, it's, we had it was originally 2.5 year tech demo. We added 5 years to that, and we're approaching the end of that structural extension, and then they're working on potentially extending it even more, but I suspect it's providing a very valuable service with 3,000 plus pounds of really large stuff.
It's also...
Has it had MMOD strengths?
The what?
MMOD strengths?
We think so, because we've got the DIDs, and because they kind of come in from the top potentially.
Right. So this is like an exposure facility now, really.
Yes, and the two REMs, they've been able to get data that they can maybe better map the South Atlantic anomaly, from what I've heard. It's pretty cool.
My super squad.
See ya.
Makes sense.
Cool. Thank you.
Pictures of the squad just took 2.
What?
Said 50% of the squad.
Yeah, the pressure is what pulls that shape. And without that, it's a big jumbo.
I got you for the rest of your time. You're stuck with me. Roger Dodger. Alright, so we're a little bit behind. Sorry, that's all good. I'm going to have 2 topics for you. There are 3 racks around in prep for E4D. It's a new exercise device that's going to be going in Columbus, probably being installed after. It's in PMM1 Deck 4, so all the way back to PMM. It's full of stowage. We're going to be emptying that and move it, and then when they were designing this new exercise device, they're like, hey, we still have the shell in this rack. We're going to go ahead and just outfit it for this new device. Look through on your own time. This is just big picture, all of like the steps we're going to need to do to get through. So all the things that you're going to need to reconfigure. So we're going to need to collapse the.
Can we do this in coordination with the food chain? I guess there's some toilet.
Yeah, there are some toilet ops, and that is something we will be discussing at the increment level. The timing of when this rack transfer occurs in relation to those toilet operations that you just talked about.
Make it easy. We have to take it on.
Yep. So my core rack, that's back there. So. And this is just for egg config. All this to say, we're moving a bunch of stowage, but this is July, but it really depends on what those flight schedules look like.
What do you have to have, or what's your time limit or event-wise?
So
E4D's not coming anytime soon, right?
So the E4D hardware, the bulk of it is coming up NG21.
Maintenance, if you remember from your fluid system skills class, can be very difficult. Have 1-inch markings on your tools over here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the
retaining ring installation and removal tool, and if you guys recall, yes, the back end, very good, is the tool we use to help remove that retaining ring. Yep. And you can see the little, that little pick right there. Yep. And then, so what you need to do is find the angle from the side and just kind of rock and pry the end of that retaining ring up.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was just a little flat
out
with my fingernail, but I wanted to
and
follow
what he just said is, so we always let our students struggle with this tool to show you that it's not great, and especially when that retaining ring is super duper flat. Right. It's pretty difficult to hey, if you get it off, we're happy. We don't care how it comes off.
But yeah, and we've started putting that in our procedures. Like, well obviously we have the tool in there. Yeah, and it's like it actually helped get it off. And so
this one just fell off because
yeah. So imagine that didn't happen. You can go ahead and put that back on for me. It's stuck on there, and you would take your tool, the Gamma Steel removal tool, and you would put it flush on over top. So this guy right here. So you want to So you want to make sure the plunger is fully retracted, your gates are fully open, and then you're going to put it straight on, and then you're going to tighten your gates. The bottom of that tool is now closing and just clamping on top of that seal, just grabbing it. Clamp it all the way down, just till hand tight till you can't tighten anymore. And then you'll rotate the plunger at the top on there. But normally after a few attempts, this tool will actually get the seal off, but it doesn't always come off on that first attempt. Any questions about getting the retaining ring off or getting... Looking at for both of you, the retaining ring is, yeah, hold on, so...
we think one of them's actually bent. And it's just... One of you, or one of your crewmates will be installing the new dose pump. That dose pump, if you remember, is located about where that hose is pointing. It's right here. Yep. Options for access are leave it as is, which I don't recommend. It's really tight to get it. So a little oopsie there. But we're flying up a spare dose pump. So numerous parts coming up in spring.
Yeah. Sell real estate in the Sahara Desert.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah. So, so in addition to providing redundancy on the U.S. side for waste, we really want toilet to run to be the primary waste management system on the U.S. side for as long as we can. And who wants these two? I'll take. Oh, we got two. Yeah, it'll be two. Okay. Yeah. Well, two crew. 3 hands. Yeah, 3 hands. And so. We don't have the entire fitting mocked up, but look, it's this guy right here. This fitting is the output from the separator is going to connect right here X number of years ago. But it'll be there. And the torque is only, let me make sure I get this right. Where is it? Inch-pounds is the torque on that.
Right. I'm betting you could stick that wrench in there and block it. One person.
This is like the Mario Luigi moment.
Yep. Well, the sensor. Yeah. The sensor is hot, but it actually has a bubble diverter because the first iteration.
Okay. We always turn off air circ when we open the port because we want to keep dirty space station air away from our space.
So it's positive pressure off.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So here.
Okay.
And then we'll do the rest. And
and then
I can email you right before we do, the week before we do the payload, I can send you information.
Okay, so you want the blue line at the end?
Yes, blue line at the end.
There we go. Kind of like that.
Perfect. A strip of Kapton that gathers your small trash with the sticky side up.
Yeah.
And
well, I was thinking I would put it here, but we're doing work here, right?
Yeah, you're gonna work probably here-ish.
So yeah, that to me looks pretty good.
I like
it.
And then if you'll take a needle strip and a few needle strips, we're just gonna do one today. And you can stick that above where you have the needles, and it should also have, does it not have the clear backing? Oh, actually we're gonna set up, you have 3 types of wipes in there. You've got biocide wipes, BZK wipes, and sterile gauze. We're gonna set up a strip of each. So that can just go on Velcro. You have, I think, that Kapton. I wanna show you if you
this one?
With that. Yeah, you can just set that.
So this we're gonna put here. So this has Velcro there.
Yes, and it should have the green dot, and one more that is that same size with the green dot. And you are gonna stow that, we'll set that up, and that can get temp stowed on the left. Yeah, the other side. Exactly.
Okay.
You can actually put it in the middle and bring the bungees up from either side. And if you look on the left and right, there is septa, the orange septa. That is where we're poking the needles through.
Yep.
And there's the number of pokes on the septa so they don't start leaking.
Copy.
And that can go in your trash bag.
I was gonna ask, is this trash now? Okay.
It's trash. And with a rinse syringe off the back wall.
Okay.
Take it out of the packaging.
Okay.
And then the needle wrapper can go on your Kapton trash. Like as we get to the smaller trash, I think they work pretty well.
Okay.
That's there. And the piece out, I can. We fly. There is always an outer cleanliness bag. So we do biology. We want everything to stay clean. We also have this little Kapton tab, so that if you need to temp still something somewhere.
So that wasn't
you've
holding
got
it
it.
closed and all. That was
No,
just, okay.
no.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
so the trick is you want to get in the sleeves and then kind of basically pull it up on your arm as much as you can.
So I want these things are on the inside or the outside?
Those are on the inside.
Okay.
That's your first layer. So, yeah, first layer. It's always, you're
Right.
going to discover it there.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm betting I'll have to tape if it's
Okay.
exactly these.
Yeah. This is one of those method to madness. So,
Yeah.
I usually have it go in a little bit more and then take this tab and use it to secure to the back panel. Just a little
okay.
sticky bit to the back panel. And now what this piece that we have for you.
Do I need these? Are these BZKs?
Yes.
Okay.
Those will-
Mm-hmm.
And I should have also given you your toolkit, which if you take the Velcro board in the toolkit and slide that out.
Oh,
you
these
just-
guys.
yes.
Okay, so this is called a Velcro bar?
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
this is why this LSG
Yeah,
because
yeah.
suddenly it will all make sense
Okay.
from that piece, that hook
And then I
piece that
tape
you
it in
had.
place?
Yep, and then you tape it down to anywhere here. And then once you do that, you'll see the genius of our plan.
The only thing I wonder about is, I mean, the Velcro often overcomes the tape, right?
Right, but this is where, so.
So let's say
Yep.
right here?
Mm-hmm. These Velcro bars, your tools just like that, you have it on there. So they're again an easy get out of the way
Right.
spot.
Okay.
And now we will deploy. This came out of 4C. That would be your medium.
Yep,
So-
probably work well here too.
Yeah, it's true. It's pretty sticky. Yeah. And that way you're not dealing with that clear piece.
Okay, practical question.
Yes.
Like gold, they're pre-Velcro.
I didn't. Yeah,
And we can
pre-velcroed and
label over
pre-tabbed
this.
and
Yeah, okay.
yeah. And you everything. We just want no contact with the tips. No, because
Mhm.
we're trying to keep contamination away from.
Okay, so that's sterile, all right?
Yep, everything. Now you're gonna BZK wipe the septa on the left and right sides. Your septa are the red circles.
Okay.
Black is our medium.
Right.
Here I will be your gravity assist.
Okay.
Now you're gonna take a full syringe
Oh, that's a lot.
and, well, actually no, sorry. I mean take one of the full syringes off the board.
Oh,
We're just
okay,
gonna
so I'm
deploy
not
this
drawing
for
yet.
now, not yet.
Okay.
But that is what you'll eventually do.
Okey-doke.
So,
Paid it in.
yeah, and
Okay.
then once that is clicked, now you lock the guide.
Gotcha.
And that just keeps, when you're doing these activities, keeps that plunger straight. So we're not gonna go through that piece, but that's why.
Okay.
And then I will always tell you where to end here. You'll end
Mhm.
at a hard stop there.
Yep.
Here I'm gonna want you to end at 30 ml.
Oh, so the next one is gonna, but I'm still doing it in 5 mil
Yeah.
increments. Okay.
5 ml increments just until that one's empty at hard stop, and on this side 30 ml. And again, I will be in you and pull that one out. And first thing you'll do is aim it at the gauze and safe the needle.
Well, here we don't expect anything to express, right?
No, but the whatever's left over in the needle could. And now take off your plunger tool.
Because you want to keep that.
Yes. And that wipes just the way you have it off the bottom.
Roger.
And wherever you're operating with science in the middle, we'll look at some different options of that. So they're gonna. This is on the magnetic seat track. So I mean,
Roger.
this is obviously.
Off
It's
center.
just this piece on the magnetic seat track. This is my. I need something for gravity.
Sure.
Same. You're gonna come in with a media syringe on one side, a
Mhm.
waste on the other. Do your exchange. On the day we do fixation, we're gonna actually do a PFA wash.
Oh, really? Okay.
So you'll do PFA, and this is also gonna be the same needle.
Right.
And then,
Brilliant. That is really cool.
yeah, again, and
Go team.
Yeah, so in this case, what happens is, this one is where we take samples because there are diffusers on the side, and this
Because I broke the plunger, before I successfully broke the plunger, this thing came out of there. And
Right.
that is really loose.
Yeah.
That takes almost no effort.
That is a really good.
And I don't know that would be a problem, per se.
Well, so I think what could happen if you don't realize you've loosened it,
Yeah.
it's not going to pull a sample in.
Yeah, that's true.
anymore. And I think incubator or sable, these are thaw pouches. They'll be warmed up to 43°C.
Right.
And you can get that out of Melfi, tuck it in here to do, and you can agitate just to
Right.
swirl the warm.
You're looking at the American-made rocket and spacecraft that will return American astronauts to the International Space Station from American soil for the first time since the retirement of the space shuttle, last flown nearly 9 years ago. But if all goes well today, we will mark a new first in NASA's storied history and usher in the commercial crew era of American spaceflight. And we are looking at a live picture now of Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley walking down that hallway in the astronaut crew quarters. We just saw Doug wave at the screen, and they're just turning the corner, getting inside that elevator. And this, you can't see it from here, but there is a banner hanging there. You can kind of see it in the back. There's a banner hanging on the wall of the elevator with the signatures of all the people who worked on this mission. So it was really important for them to hang that up in there so Bob and Doug could see it. And there the doors are opening.
Here they come.
Great. And there they are, NASA astronauts.
Small crowd, but big cheers.
NASA astronauts Bob Behnken and Doug Hurley, Doug on the left, Bob on the right, waving to the crowd there to cheer them on. And there are their families right in front of them.
The virtual hugs, a very special moment. Fist bumps.
Are you going to be on good behavior? Are you going to listen to mommy and make her life easy?
You can hear them.
Ready?
great. Launch America! Bye, guys.
And there it is. That shot really gives you a sense of the scale of the Falcon 9 rocket. Those Teslas look teeny, teeny, tiny, making their way up there.
Yeah, really cool watching the Teslas pull up, driving on the launch pad just a few feet away from the vehicle. This is awesome and getting really excited over here.
Core on countdown 1 at 2 hours 57 minutes. The crew has arrived at the pad on schedule.
But there they are, taken in the sight, craning to see the top of the Falcon 9 rocket.
Core on countdown 1 at T-minus 2 hours and 46 minutes. The crew has arrived at the White Room and its ingress is in progress on schedule.
And as they climb into Dragon, they will buckle themselves in and attach their umbilicals to their suits. And as you can see, the suit techs are there to help them get buckled and settled into those seats.
And we can see the seats slowly start to rotate. Again, they're in this down position just to make it easier to climb in and out of Dragon. They'll rotate to this launch position to put their backs a little bit more parallel to the ground. It makes taking the G-force a little bit easier for the crew on the way uphill, but most importantly, positions those touchscreens directly in front of them, which is just their gateway into Dragon.
Dragon SpaceX seats are in the launch position.
We copy.
Dragon, SpaceX, go for launch.
SpaceX Dragon, we're go for launch. Let's light this candle.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff of the Falcon 9 and Crew Dragon. Go NASA, go SpaceX, Godspeed, Bob and Doug.
America has launched. And so rises a new era of American spaceflight, and with it the ambitions of a new generation continuing the dream. 20 seconds into flight, stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Plus 30 seconds into this historic mission. Flying crew on board Dragon and Falcon 9, and look at them go.
Falcon power telemetry nominal.
M1D throttle down.
We're throttling down to get ready for the period of maximum dynamic pressure. We're in the throttle bucket. Reports say all systems are go.
Vehicle is supersonic.
We've exceeded Mach 1 on the Falcon 9.
M1D throttle up.
We're throttling back up to full power as we're through max Q.
Copy, 1 Bravo.
And we heard that 1 Bravo call out. That's just the second abort zone that they're in. They'll continue to be on this until the first stage has done its job and they switch over to the second. At this point, Bob and Doug pulling about 2.3 Gs, 2.3 times the Earth's gravity, already moving at over 1,500 miles per hour.
We've heard the call out for MVAC engine chill. That's getting the MVAC engine ready to light. That'll come at about 2:44 into flight. Right now, everything continuing to look good. Next major event coming up is going to be the triple. We'll have main engine cutoff of the 9 first stage engines, stage separation, and then ignition of the second stage engine to continue to carry astronauts into orbit.
And what you're seeing on your screen is a live view of our drone ship, where our first stage will be coming down. Looks like we lost that live view, but we'll wait for confirmation of that landing shortly here.
Falcon 9 first stage is successfully landed.
And there you can see on your screen, Falcon 9 has landed This is the first Falcon 9 to carry humans to orbit, so very exciting for us. And as you can see on your right screen, Bob and Doug are still making their way to their targeted orbit.
Dragon separation confirmed.
Countdown 1 is unmerged.
Separation confirmed.
And there's that call out. Dragon is now officially making its way to the International Space Station today.
Dragon SpaceX with that separation call. We have a few words for you from our Falcon 19.
Standing by.
Dragon, Chief Engineer on Dragon to Ground. Bob Doug, on behalf of the entire launch team, thanks for flying with Falcon 9 today. We hope you enjoyed the ride and wish you a great mission.
Thanks, Bala. Congratulations to you and the F9 team for the first human ride for Falcon 9, and it was incredible. Appreciate all the hard work, and thanks for the great ride to space.
Copy all.
Bala and Mike, proud of you guys and the rest of the team. Thank you so much for what you've done for us today, putting America back into low Earth orbit from the Florida coast.
Copy all. Good luck. Godspeed.
Without further ado, we would like to welcome you aboard Capsule Endeavour. We chose Endeavour for a few reasons. One, because of this incredible endeavor NASA, SpaceX, and the United States has been on since the end of the shuttle program back in 2011. The other reason we named it Endeavour is a little more personal to Bob and I. We both had our first flights on Shuttle Endeavour, and it just meant so much to us to carry on that name. That's what we decided to go with. So we hope you enjoy that name, and once again, welcome on board.
Today we accomplished the first flight off the Florida coast in quite some time, and Doug and I were really proud to have an opportunity to be a part of that. We're doing it in a brand new spaceship, a spaceship that's a lot different than its namesake Endeavour, the space shuttle, in that it has touch display screens that allow us to accomplish most of the interfacing requirements that we have. But we've got the capability to interface with the vehicle, and it's kind of interesting. There's a command. This little button over here is actually what the commands are for our displays. One thing that does get lost is there is a extensive button panel down below as well. So over on this side, we can turn the displays on and off, as well as send some commands for some contingency situations. On the other side, we have the ability to deploy chutes and things like that on entry. So we do have some buttons, but the primary interface is these displays. So nice, new, modern cockpit that we've got for our compared to our namesake, the Space Shuttle Endeavour.
And I'm guessing it was the first time a space vehicle was flown with a touchscreen before. So we got that going for us.
We did. It turns out, end up with one stowaway on board our vehicle when we launched today. It was not just Doug and I who accomplished the launch here. We do have an Apatosaurus aboard. We both have two boys who are super interested in dinosaurs. And we collected up all the dinosaurs between the two houses, and Trimmer, the Apatosaurus, got the vote from the boys to make the trip into space today with us. And so that was a super cool thing for us to get a chance to do for both of our sons, who I hope are super excited to see their toys floating around with us on board. I'm sure they would rather be here given the opportunity, but hopefully they're proud of this as well.
At this point, Dragon now approaching waypoint 0. At this moment, we're less than a mile away from station. Dragon just under 1,200 meters away, continuing to close the gap. Pretty slow rate right now, moving in at only about 1.7 meters per second.
And here's a view from Dragon. Dragon's got a number of relative navigation sensors, as well as a couple of cameras that can look forward. That will hopefully get some additional views for as we get closer to docking. Here's a great view from a camera behind Bob and Doug, Bob in the right-hand seat in the pilot seat, Doug in the commander seat, or the CDR seat.
There they are. And that's 200 meters from the center line of the space station.
We're inside 100 meters, continuing to close.
I think you can see a meatball and American flag on that on the spacecraft. That burns. The 5 burns to get to this point.
SpaceX Dragon on the big loop. Our visors are down. SpaceX Dragon on the big loop. Our visors are down.
Visors down. They are.
Copy, visors down.
They're sitting right there, 20 meters from the docking port. One more view.
SpaceX in station. Dragon on the big loop. We are inbound from approach 2.
Copy, inbound.
Station copy.
Dragon closing in. We're inside 20 meters. And yeah, that crew hands-off point should come up in about 3 minutes or so. Right before we get that final docking, it comes about 20 seconds prior, or just about 2 meters away from the station still. And that's just the crew not issuing any abort commands. At that point, it would be too late. And so any aborts would be executed automatically by Dragon itself. Two meters. We are inside the hands-off point, the chop, the crew hands-off point. 1 meter to go. Soft capture complete.
Dragon in space. Soft capture confirmed. Stand by for retraction and docking.
And we just heard it, soft capture. We have docking, that coming at 7:16 a.m. Pacific time, with the station and Dragon flying 262 statute miles right over the border between northern China and Mongolia.
Dragon SpaceX docking sequence is complete.
SpaceX Dragon, we copy docking complete. To say that it's been a real honor to be just a small part of this 9-year endeavor since the last time a United States spaceship had docked with the International Space Station. We have to congratulate the men and women of SpaceX at Hawthorne, McGregor, and at Kennedy Space Center. Their incredible efforts over the last several years to make this possible cannot go overstated. I'd also like to thank Kathy Leaders and her team of the Commercial Crew Program of NASA. An outstanding job by everyone. Last, I'd like to thank the men and women of the National Aeronautics and Space Agency. This is an incredible time to be at NASA. 3 new vehicles to be flown, continuing mission in low Earth orbit, and then to the moon and Mars. We thank you again and congratulate you.
Dragon arriving. The crew of Expedition 63 is honored to welcome Dragon and the Commercial Crew Program to welcome aboard the International Space Station. Bob and Doug, glad to have you as part of the crew. Well done. Bravo Zulu.
We have Bob Behnken from SpaceX Demo 2 mission entering the International Space Station. Followed by Doug Hurley. Demo 2 crew now aboard the International Space Station. They entered at 12:22 p.m. Central Time. The station at the time was 262 statute miles over Turkmenistan. Crew all gathered in front of the cameras at the Node 2 forward end of the International Space Station. Just behind them is the hatchway to the Crew Dragon on this Demo 2 mission.
Station, this is the NASA administrator. Can you hear me?
We hear you loud and clear, sir. Welcome to the space station.
Thank you, Chris. It's good to see you. And welcome to Bob and Doug. I will tell you, the whole world saw this mission, and we are so proud of everything you have done for our country and, in fact, to inspire the world.
We sure appreciate that, sir. It's obviously been our honor to be just a small part of this. We have to give credit to SpaceX, the Commercial Crew Program, and, of course, NASA. It's great to get the United States back in the crewed launch business, and we're just really glad to be on board this magnificent complex.
First, I just want to say thank you again to Bob and Doug and your families from all of us here at SpaceX, all of our locations, all of our partners, all of our vendors, everyone for trusting us to bring you up there.
Hey, thanks, Benji. It's same back at you. You know, congratulations to the folks out at Hawthorne, McGregor, and at Kennedy. Just an incredible journey we've had the last couple days. A great day in space today, our first day of work on Space Station, but what a great ride on Dragon and Falcon 9 to get us here. Everything worked exactly the way we planned it to work, and that's a credit to the teams there in Hawthorne and McGregor and Kennedy. Just it's a pretty awe-inspiring trip so far, and very humbling, and just we're just so proud to represent SpaceX and NASA in this new next launch capability.
You guys have a picture of the Earth, and you have a flag which also represents the friendly competition maybe that brings us unity. Why don't you tell us about that there?
Yeah, so this is the flag that we left here almost 9 years ago on STS-135. It had actually flown on STS-1, and then it flew again with us on STS-135. And at some point after the end of the shuttle program, we decided we would have a little friendly competition to see who came up and got this flag. And congratulations, SpaceX, you got the flag. So Bob and I, Chris will not let us forget it. That's the biggest thing, is this will be on his to-do list when we get the nod to return Dragon back to Earth, and hopefully this will find a great place of honor somewhere in Hawthorne.
Everyone at NASDAQ is thrilled that you're able to join us here today virtually as we get set to ring today's opening bell.
All right, Bob Mini Workstation BRT has a red small.
Yes.
3 short wire ties, 1 long wire tie.
1 long, 1, 2, 3 shorts. Swing arm.
Red small. PGT.
Red small to PGT number 7.
PGT number 7. Cal knot motor 30.5. And 7/16 swabbing.
Bob, your helmet is locked. Just check out all your stuff, make sure you're good.
The thermal cover is open. I'm egressing.
We copy.
two spacewalkers will be making their way to the far starboard truss of the International Space Station to replace aging nickel-hydrogen batteries on the first of two power channels for the S6 truss with new lithium-ion batteries and their associated adapter plates.
View back inside where you can see that thermal cover of the hatch is closed. Still waiting on the opportunity to close the hatch. However, the spacewalk does not end until repressurization begins.
So much stuff.
Hold Bob for a second.
PGTs are in the bag. Yeah,
Oh, you already put them in there? Okay. We'll get your tools off.
First of all, I'm super excited that this is the first payload you're working with on space station, so make it super special for me. And you can start. We have the video. We'll be watching.
When you install the sample cartridge, we'd like you to first hand snug bolt Bravo and then do bolt Alpha and let us know if there's any difference between those two bolts.
we'd like you to do is, like, with two hands, you're going to grab the drink bag and try to squeeze it uniformly so that you actually drain it in about 15 seconds. Keep it going, cool. Nice. Well done.
And Endeavour Houston on 2 while we wait for the fan. On this day in space history, 9 years ago today, Mr. Doug Hurley launched on STS-135.
Well, welcome aboard to the International Space Station and the crew of Expedition 63. It's an exciting day for us all as we bid farewell to our two friends and colleagues, Bob and Doug, as they complete the journey of this amazing test mission. Before I hand the mic over to Bob and Doug, I do want to make mention of this very special flag. It has deep space history, getting deeper, as this flag will return to Earth with the Crew Dragon guys and spend a little bit of time on Earth and very soon make a trip to the moon in short order. So, Doug, the flag's all yours. It's been a pleasure, and here you go.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for this. This flag has spent some time up here, on the order of 9 years since we dropped it off on STS-135 after it flew on STS-1. So very proud to return this flag home and see what's next for it on its journey to the moon. It's hard to put into words just what it was like to be a part of this expedition, Expedition 63. It'll be kind of a memory that will last a lifetime for me. Just all the incredible teamwork and accomplishments, with the highlights obviously being the 4 spacewalks that we worked together literally as a crew of 5 to have success and to complete that part of the upgrade for the International Space Station, which leaves it in a great posture for the future.
As I look back on the mission that we've had here on the International Space Station, I'm proud to have been a part of much of the science activities that happened over the last 2 months. As Doug and Chris mentioned, the spacewalks and robotics activity. Chris and I were able to join the 10 Spacewalk Club, which is a pretty neat. And as I look forward to heading back home for the splashdown, I do think that from a family perspective, my son and Doug's son are really excited not only to get their fathers back, but to get our Apatosaurus, our zero-G indicator that they nominated to go with us on this historic mission to the International Space Station, and bringing that to launch and return capability back to the U.S. And so for Jack and Theo, Tremor the Apatosaurus is headed home soon, and he'll be with your dads. You'll have to pick which one of us is your favorite.
Dragon SpaceX on the Big Loop. The final reconfigurations for undock are complete and nominal. The ground is go for undocking at the undocking sequence start time of 23:30 GMT. Please confirm your visors are down and that you are ready for undock and departure.
Dragon copies, go for undock on time. Our visors are down and we're ready for departure.
We copy all. Dragon SpaceX, all hooks open and nominal.
All hooks open.
Dragon departing.
Dragon SpaceX, separation confirmed.
Okay, separation
Great burns. Physical separation, 4:35 p.m. Pacific. Thrusters looking good. Counting down to a nominal departure burn 0 coming up shortly.
Dragon SpaceX, depart burn 0 complete.
Copy complete. Our visors up.
And with that, Bob and Doug have concluded their stay aboard the International Space Station. They're on their way back to planet Earth. Confirms a physical separation at 4:35 p.m. Pacific as the station and Dragon were flying 267 statute miles over Johannesburg, South Africa.
Endeavor on the Big Loop.
Go ahead, Endeavor.
Chris, we just can't thank you enough. It's been an honor and a privilege to be part of Expedition 63 with you, Anatoly, and Ivan. It's been a great 2 months, and we appreciate all you've done as a crew to help us prove out Dragon on its maiden flight. I'd also like to thank Zeb and his team in Mission Control in Houston for the incredible amount of work they did to make the dock to ops successful for Dragon.
and also the teams at SpaceX that keep us going towards the end of our mission that we look forward to splashdown tomorrow. I'd also like to wish you a great success on the rest of your expedition and a safe flight home in the fall. Take care, Fred. Endeavor,
Thank
stay
you, Chris.
safe.
Thank you, Anatoly. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you, Houston, and thank you, SpaceX.
Endeavor Station, Bob and Doug, wholeheartedly agree with those sentiments. It's been a real pleasure. It's been an honor to serve with you. Safe travels and have a successful landing. Endeavor's a great ship. Godspeed. Endeavor copies all. Thanks, Chris.
Good morning, Dragon Endeavor. I'm happy you went into space, but I'm even happier that you're coming back home.
Rise and shine, Daddy. We love you. We can't wait to see you. Wake up, wake up.
Rise and shine, Dad. Me, Luke, Leo, and Mom can't wait to see you, Daddy. Love you.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Wake up. Say wake up. Don't worry, you can sleep in tomorrow. Hurry home so we can go get my dog.
We love you, Dad.
Good morning, Jay. Good morning to SpaceX, and thank you especially to Jack and to Theo for that wonderful message this morning. Hopefully the pressure's all on whoever's making the weather call, because those boys seem excited to bring us home.
Yeah, we concur. It was great hearing them, and happy to hear you. And lucky for you, weather is looking great at Pensacola. Dragon is also healthy and proceeding towards the primary deorbit opportunity.
Got some live views inside the Dragon Endeavor capsule. Bob and Doug there in their seats as they are making final preparations and doing final reviews as we get ready to initiate the deorbit sequence. Closest to the camera there is NASA astronaut Doug Hurley, and further away from the camera is NASA astronaut Bob Behnken. These are two incredibly wonderful humans. We affectionately call them our space dads here at SpaceX. It's been such an honor to be able to fly them. Of course, Doug Hurley was actually the pilot of the final space shuttle mission, STS-135, back in 2011. And honestly, when I heard that he was assigned to this mission, I cried, because, just to have the opportunity to return the pilot of that final mission to the space station in this capacity is so cool. And I've loved following this mission since the moment that we started training for it here in Hawthorne.
So the expected descent rate, the expected velocity under the drogue's nominal, we're right at around 150 miles an hour and already dropping. You can see the drogues now detach.
And there we have confirmation of deployment of the 4 main parachutes.
We are visual on 4 chutes out.
We are visual. 4 main parachutes deployed.
4 main.
So at this point, the main parachutes have deployed. They are inflating, as you can see there on your screen, continuing to slow Dragon down significantly. We are anticipating splashdown in just under 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, we've already slowed the vehicle down to about 16 miles an hour. It's already less than 1 kilometer in altitude.
Main chute descent rate nominal, passing through 700 meters.
So at this point, Dragon has saved all propulsion systems on
600
board.
meters.
600 meters.
And we're 600 meters above the Gulf of Mexico.
Should be approximately a minute 30 from splashdown.
Mission control team here in Hawthorne has reported the precise landing coordinates to the recovery team. They are standing by, ready to go get our space dads.
100 meters.
We just passed about 300 meters. 1 minute till splashdown.
$200 meters. We are braced for splashdown.
Copy, brace for splashdown.
So there we heard Bob and Doug reporting that they are bracing for a splashdown. We should be able to see the Gulf of Mexico here in the shot just momentarily, as we're now just about 20 meters off the ocean.
Splashdown.
As you can see on your screen, we have visual confirmation for splashdown. Dragon Endeavour has returned home. NASA astronauts
And
Bob
Endeavour, on
Doug.
behalf of the SpaceX and NASA teams, welcome back to planet Earth, and thanks for flying SpaceX.
It was truly our honor and privilege to fly in flight of the Crew Dragon and Endeavour. Congrats, everybody at SpaceX. All good, and we're into section of 4.800.
Thanks for those words, Doug, and we copy that you are into 4.800.
So great news all around there. Our space dads are back on Earth after a 19-hour return journey from space. Dragon Endeavour has splashed down in the Gulf of Mexico, just off the coast of Pensacola, Florida. And on your screen there, you can see our two fast boats, and they are indeed fast, racing out to greet Dragon Endeavour as it sits there. The first on there, we can see a view inside the capsule. Bob and Doug looking good. Although the communication was a little choppy, we did hear
Endeavour in 3.1. We show ourselves in stable 1.
And SpaceX copies for vehicle assessment, step 3.1, stable 1. Good news.
Oh, still getting a view from the WB. The airplane flying overhead, it gave us those great views of really our first views of Bob and Doug re-entering the Earth's atmosphere from up above. You can see the 4 parachutes in the water. We heard those were cut automatically as expected by Dragon. So for now, the crew just standing by. Again, they're going to stay in their suits, in their seats.
Dragon will be hoisted using the hydraulic lift out of the water and into that nest. That nest will then be pulled towards the camera from this view, towards those individuals on that upper deck there.
Dragon SpaceX, brace for capsule lift in about 30 seconds.
We're ready. Thank you.
All right, so the crew was just told in the next 30 seconds, they have the lines affixed, so they're going to start lifting the capsule up out of the water. And at this point, the communication we're getting with Dragon is actually being routed through the boat itself at this point. So there we can see the lift. Dragon is out of the water.
Yeah, so
now
now
that A-frame's going to start swinging it back, and it's bound right for that nest at the bottom of your screen.
And there we can see Dragon Endeavour being carefully set down into the recovery nest on top of Go Navigator.
Dragon SpaceX, welcome aboard the recovery vessel. Recovery personnel are completing final checks and preparing to translate you to the egress platform.
We copy. Thank you.
And we see the hatch is now open. Hatch being opened at 12:59 p.m. Pacific. Hatch is open.
So right now they're going to put a piece of equipment in there that basically smooths out the edges and makes sure that it is a comfortable exit from the Dragon capsule. Just a little piece of structure there to ensure that the hatch will remain open and that any sharp edges around that side hatch are protected.
And Solo from the PLT, I just wanted to thank you guys for bringing us home safe before I disembarked from ship Endeavor. I'm sure Doug will have some good words for you guys as well, but thank you for doing the most difficult parts.
Mike, I just would like to sort of reiterate what Bob said and add my thanks to everybody over the last several years that's either worked in Hawthorne, McGregor, or down at Kennedy Space Center. Anybody who's touched Endeavor, you should take a moment to just cherish this day, especially given all the things that have happened this year. We certainly can't thank you enough. Our families can't thank you enough. And just proud to be a small part of this whole effort to get a company of people to and from the space station. They can celebrate with each other, and we'll talk to you soon, hopefully in person.
Thanks so much, Doug, and you're welcome, and thank you so much for those kind words. And we all wish you a safe journey home and a happy reunion with your family soon, and we look forward to seeing you in person as well.
Mikey.
Yeah, so Bob Bankin, the pilot, the Joint Operations Commander for this mission, out of the capsule now. So he's making his way over to the medical area, and now they're going to work to get Doug Hurley out next.
I think I saw a smile on Bob's face.
He was a thumbs up all the way. That'll be their first stop on planet Earth, and then they're going to be making their way up into a helicopter and then heading back to dry land. So once they're complete, the team's going to prepare Dragon itself, and they're going to begin taking it back to shore.
I think the biggest thing that we would both like to talk about is just to thank, you can see Steve and Kathy here and Elon. You know, this has been quite an odyssey the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, 5 years since Bob and I started working on this program. And to be where we are now, the first crewed flight of Dragon, is just unbelievable. We've said it before, just a tremendous privilege to be part of this program, to be part of NASA, and to spend 2 months on the International Space Station with one of the greatest officers, crewmates, astronauts, Chris Cassidy. It just was a real pleasure for both of us. And I'm sure Bob will talk about the spacewalks, but just to see those two work out on the International Space Station, you're not going to see anything like that again. It just was just amazing to be part of that. And then, you know, the flight of Dragon on Falcon, and then the reentry today. It's a lot to process. As I said 5 hours ago, we were in a spaceship bobbing around, making prank satellite phone calls to whoever we could get a hold of, which was kind of fun, by the way. You can send him the bill for the sat phone. But anyway, we really appreciate all of you coming to say hi and welcoming us back. It's a little bit overwhelming to see everybody here, considering the things that have gone on the last few months since we've been off planet. But thank you again for coming to say hi, and hopefully we'll be able to share a lot of this mission with you in a few months, hopefully, if not sooner. But thank you again.
Well, first of all, thank you for everybody who came out today. I know with all the challenges everybody's wearing a mask with the situation that we're in. It's not trivial to get this many people here to try to be close and celebrate what we've accomplished. I think for both Doug and I, the thing that we're most excited about having accomplished with this mission is, it's written right on that sign where it says Launch America, and then, of course, Land America today. As we went through our years as astronauts here at the Johnson Space Center, we got to live through a big chunk of the shuttle era and a big chunk of the assembly of the space station. When the space shuttles retired, when Doug took his final flight to wrap that up, I think it was a sad day for us in the because there's something special about having that capability to launch and bring your own astronauts home. And we went through a lot of years without that capability, and I think we're both super proud to have been just a small part of the team that accomplished bringing those space flights back to the Florida coast and bringing that capability back to America. As Doug mentioned, we had the luxury of having just a super crew on board the International Space Station with Chris Cassidy, with Anatoly and Yvonne. They just took wonderful care of us. I can't think of anything that we could have had more in place and ready for us when we arrived than what Chris set up for us. And so we're extremely thankful for him and his work to make things look easy for us. We didn't have the full training template that was out there. We had an abbreviated flow and got to take advantage of an opportunity, if you will, to try to take care of space station as we accomplish this test mission. And so I think we're both really proud of that and happy that it didn't become a distraction. We were able to accomplish the test mission objectives and work through those, kind of get Dragon certified in some sense to be ready for our return home when the time came to do that. And so it all just worked out wonderfully. And so today, when we got the wake-up calls from our boys, telling us a little bit about what they were looking forward to, which was us coming home, and in Theo's case, getting a new dog. It was a wonderful morning, and we very much appreciated it. And so, again, I think this kind of comes full circle. Took years to get here. We brought the capability back to America, and we came home safely to our families. And it took a lot of people a lot of time to make that happen. And so, to Kathy, thank you for that. Of course, you had Steve as your right-hand man for the most recent history, at least, and we definitely really appreciate the hard work that you all had to go through to ensure that the contractors, in this case, the SpaceX team, really could understand NASA and what we needed to be able to have in place to have human spaceflight be safe in the way that we wanted to operate it. And I think for the SpaceX team, we couldn't have asked for a more wonderful team to work with. I think